Foundation, and Simon Rosenberg from the New Democrat Network. Kate, welcome back. Gee whiz, gosh, Willie, should death be a taxable event, Kate?
Well, no, it shouldn't unless you believe that we should tax hardworking Americans' income twice. From a philosophical standpoint, it is an outrage. It's also an economic outrage. If the Democrats reinstitute it right now, then that means 1.4 million new jobs are going to be killed. Not to mention all of the capital that is going to be lost in the economy, because instead of spending money to grow their businesses and create new jobs, individuals, after they lose a loved one, are going to be paying this massive tax. And exempting people is this $3.5 million exemption, or whatever it's going to be, is ridiculous. Many small businesses that individuals work hard to grow are worth more than $3.5 million.
Simon, Kate's making some really good points there. But you disagree.
Well,
tell us why.
Well, I think that what we know today, and I think what everybody can agree on, is that this measures taken to get the economy back on track have been insufficient. I mean, that we are in a much better place today than we were a year and a half ago, we're that's indisputable, by the way. And so we're in a much better place than we were a year and a half ago. And now the question is, what are we going to do going forward to create growth, have broad-based prosperity for all workers, to get the deficit under control? And I think reinstating the estate tax is a reasonable step as part of a broader strategy.
But, Simon, you know in your heart that Kate is right, because all that income has already been taxed once. I mean, that's the thing that's so vexing about the estate tax, that these businesses, the guy creates a family business, or the lady creates a family business, builds it up for years.
My father, by the way, my father's a small business owner.
All right, mine too, by the way, and I myself have a little tiny business. But here's the point: you're already taxed. Any earnings, any profits are already taxed once. This is the part I've never understood. So the double tax issue, please address the double tax issue that you incur if estates are taxed.
Larry, I think what's important about this conversation is that right now, the reason we have a deficit is because in the Bush era, we dramatically reduced revenues through tax cuts and increased spending. And the way that we're going to address the deficit going forward is we're going to need more revenue, and we're going to have to cut spending together. It's going to have to be both. And there's going to be a big debate about what is the best way to create more tax revenue that does the least harm.
That does the least. I mean, this is double taxation. Kate said it, Larry said it. It just doesn't seem fair.
I'm trying to answer. So I think that I agree with Bob Rubin and Julian Robertson, two of the most wealthy and successful businessmen of the last 50 years in the United States, that this is a reasonable tax to instate, and it will do the least amount of harm while generating productive revenue. I agree with that basic argument.
Kate, what's the revenue impact? Do you really make any money off this tax?
You make about, according to the CBO, you make about $8 billion a year from the real estate tax. That does not count what you lose. Over a 10-year period, the economy will be short $850 billion of capital that can be used for businesses. This is an incredibly short-sighted approach to put $8 billion back in the economy. It's a $3.5 trillion economy right now. And you really think $8 billion of decreased incentive and increased taxes is going to do something to raise revenue? We don't have a revenue problem in this country. We have a spending problem in this country. When we have quadrupled the budget in 1 year, when we've spent more on stimulus than we have in 7 years of the Iraq War, we have a spending problem in this country, and you're not going to solve it by taxing dead people and putting additional burden on their families.
Realistically, Kate, aren't people just going to seek ways to get around this to a certain extent?
That is a major problem, because the compliance costs of the tax are enormous, because instead of just paying the taxes, people spend their money that could be growing their businesses. They spend vast resources trying to avoid the taxes. Look, this is not going to impact John Kerry and his family. They will be fine. He will find ways to hide his resources. This is going to hit the small business owner, the farm, the family farm, the people who are just beginning to grow their resources and want to pass their estates on intact to their children. These are not the mega wealthy Warren Buffett.
Yeah, you know, Simon, just maybe this is a minor point, but look, I've had some of these billionaires who are giving their money away that come on the show. You know, what they're doing is they set up a trust, right? And then they donate their whole estate to a charitable foundation. And therefore, Uncle Sam doesn't get a nickel. And in fact, they say they'd rather do that than give Uncle Sam their money. How do you react to that?
Well, I just wish Kate had as much passion in defending the wealthiest people in the United States as she would about trying to figure out why we've had 10 years of no wage and income growth.
I'm defending the family farm and small
Kate,
businesses.
let me finish. You talked forever, right? So let me finish.
I got something to say.
I just wish any of it was Kate. I just wish any of it was correct. That would be better than
it's
saying.
All correct. CBO numbers, not mine.
Kate, if I can finish, please, is that the point is. Thanks for interrupting. Is that the point is that. The real question is, how are we going to create long-term growth and get the deficit under control? It's amazing to me listening to Republicans on the air defending increasing the budget deficit